And we are back on the A20F electric fat folding bike, and today we are doing our hill test. We're going to see how it does. I'll move the camera in a moment. Cool, that sun's come out really nice now. It looks really good. We still have the awesome squeaky brake. Okay, so I'm not far away from coming to the hill test. Leave in the comment section below right now, what do you think? Do you think that this is going to make it up the hill? In all honesty, I don't know. It's going to be normally on some of the electric bikes for the hill test that we've done, I'm quite confident that it makes it, but this one, I'd say I'm probably 50-50 with this one. It's yeah, I really don't know. Just because of the torque on this. This is a geared hub motor rather than a brushless motor, so it has more top speed, but it doesn't have as much torque. But we can try. We will see what happens. We've done lots of videos on this bike, doing a couple of upgrades on it and changing out a few things, and done a bit of off-roading. Okay, very slow through the puddle. I don't want to get too wet. There we go. So yeah, these fat tyres do a very good job of going over bumps and stuff. Even though it does have front suspension, which I do bottom out quite a lot if I'm honest. But it doesn't have back suspension. But if you want a bike that feels nice and strong and big, this is definitely the bike for you. Alright, we're not far now, pretty close to our hill test. I really don't know. Like, of course it would make it up there no matter what. If I'm pedaling really hard, of course it would. But I want to see if it can make it up there without me putting too much effort into it. Okay, waiting to cross. There we go. Pick your moments. Up the curb. Didn't even feel that curb. All right, we are here. The hill that I always bring every electric bike to. I said I wasn't going to come back here, but it seems like I've always done bikes on this hill, so I've kind of used this hill now as my guide on how good electric bikes are going uphill, because it is very, very steep at the beginning, and then it kind of eases off, but it is a steep hill. Okay, let's see how it does. So we're in first gear. If I need to change, I will change. We will see. Okay, first gear, pedaling. It's like air at the minute, and that's the way I always want it to be. I don't really care so much about speed. I don't care if I'm not going up here at 20 miles an hour, as long as it is effortless. And by the time I get to the top of the hill, I'm not gasping for breath. As long as it does that, then it's a pass. Now, because I'm on the steepest part, I am now putting in a bit of effort. Not loads, but I am putting in a bit. So even though I'm in first gear, I would say it probably feels like I'm in third. Feels like I'm in third or fourth gear. As I say, I am putting in a little bit of effort. The top speed that we've had so far has been 8 miles an hour. At the minute, on the steepest part, we're doing 6.1. Okay, putting in quite a bit of effort here. Not an insane amount, but quite a bit. Hopefully that horrible squeak will go away at some point, because that is kind of annoying. She didn't want to move. Okay, putting in some good effort here. 5.5 mile an hour. So I'm going to be honest here, I definitely have to work more on this bike than what I did on the Paslick, and compared to the same bike, A20F. Yeah, definitely putting in more effort here. It's not too bad because I am quite a fit guy anyway, because I work out, but for someone who doesn't work out that much, this hill is probably well, yeah, not very ideal. So if you're using this bike more for off-roading, it's perfect. Flat, perfect. Downhill, perfect. Uphill, you're gonna have to put some pedal power there. You are gonna have to put some effort in. Now, if you want a bike that's gonna keep you fit, again, this is probably the one, because you're putting in a bit more effort compared to the brushless motor electric bikes. So now we should be able to change gear a little bit, get a bit more speed, because we've got the steepest part out of the way. We're going to look when we get to the top how long it's taken us, because we know from the other videos that we've done on the other electric bikes how long it's taken. We'll see how long it's taken us on this. Now we still have a little bit more of hill left yet. So we also did a top speed test with the new mods. I can change gear again. Yeah, we did a top speed with mods. We made that video. We showed battery maintenance. We've shown the upgrades that we've done. The only one thing I could change is the converter to give it that bit more torque. But as I said, this is a geared hub motor. For a second there, I was going to say that sounded weird for a taxi to sound like that, but a motorbike was overtaking, that's why. That makes sense. Yeah, that looks kind of strange there for a minute. Anyway, definitely a lot easier to pedal now. Throttle only, there is no way this bike is making it up this hill throttle only, even though it does have the speed hack. There's no way, absolutely no chance. And I have showed my P settings, so I got 5 levels of assist, 3 of them are pedal, 2 of them are throttle, and as I've done in every video, I will show you my P settings when we get to the very, very top. We're not far away now, we're getting there. So overall, I actually do quite like this bike. The main thing I like about it is the off-road side, because when I'm on it, I feel like an absolute beast. People always turn their head, people always look at me. You know, if you want a bike to show off, this is the bike that you're going to show off. This is definitely a bike to show off with. And for off-road, as I said, getting off-road with this, it does very well on chalk, which we've done. Does very well on roads that are all stone. Does very well on mud. Does very well on grass. So all different types of terrain off-road. Yeah, it does really, really well. So definitely recommend this bike if you're doing a lot of off-roading. But other than that, I guess if you're just going to use it for cruising around town on flat ground or going off-road, then this bike is the one for you. But if you've got a lot of hills in your area, which where I live there's not loads of hills, but when I come to Brighton there is a lot of hills in Brighton, and for that fact, you know, sometimes I go Wooden Ding quite a bit, and when I go to Wooden Ding to see my friend, the only way to get there is hills. So yeah, for me, I would like this bike to not even be 750 watt. This is 500 watt, and the motor can, and the converter can get to 48 volts. So maybe you could either swap out the motor, the converter, or in fact you could just buy a 48 volt battery and it'll give you more voltage, more miles, and that little bit more push on the hills. So yeah, that could be an option, maybe upgrading the battery to 48 volt system, extra range. Has to go into a lighter gear here, putting in a bit of effort. So when I say effort, as I said, it's always it's like I'm in kind of third or fourth gear riding, which anyone who's had a BMX knows what third gear is like. Trying to ride up here in third gear on a BMX, could I do it? Of course. But with an electric bike, it's a little bit different, because you've got to worry about the converter burning out. You've got to worry about the motor. You've got to worry about the battery taking too much strain, so you don't damage your cells too much. And then the weight on this bike, obviously this weight compared to a BMX, the weight on this bike is an insane amount more. So yeah, you know, there's a lot that does come into it. I knew I could have rid up this hill anyway, no matter what, but the thing is, trying to do it, you're welcome, trying to do it effortlessly is a whole different game. Now, anybody can ride up a hill, but if you're doing it where it's like air and it's very easy, then yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, do a little bit of off-road here down to the bottom. Let's quickly first show you the P settings and check our time, see how long it's taken us. Wow, nearly 13 minutes. Okay, so but then I did start recording before I got to the hill, so it could be about the same. Okay, so we hold the plus and minus, takes us into our P settings. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to keep skipping through, and you can pause it at any point. Hopefully you can see okay. P setting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and P16. There we go. Also has a USB charger just here, has a light and a horn as well. Okay, let's ride down to the bottom of here, then we'll end the video. So like this, the ground's really rugged, but it's good. Thanks. So yeah, this ground is proper off-road, but even though it is, I can feel a bit of bump, obviously, but it's nice and smooth though on the back, and that is because these tyres are so big they absorb most of the bumps. Just a little bit of adjustment to that back brake to stop it squeaking so much, and we'll be good. Or just come down a few hills like this. Oh, we got a bit of skid in there. I'm trying to put more weight on that back wheel. Oh, a bit more skidding. All right, so that's going to conclude it. So my fault is yes, it can do uphill, definitely, but you're going to have to put some effort into it. Hope you guys did enjoy this one. Any comments, do leave below. I do try my best to respond to every comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new so you don't miss out on the next video. We catch you people again soon for some more fun and games. I am out.